Can Aethir ATH become a game changer this year and reverse against this major downtrend it has been in since June of last year? Okay, since June of last year, Aether has tapped about 20 cents before going in this huge downtrend. And currently it's trading at about 5.6 cents. Now, what can we be looking at for Aether here? Now, I do think that, if you guys have been following my channel, that I do think that most, if not all, altcoins are going to be pumping with Bitcoin if Bitcoin does, continues its bull cycle here. Um, and unless these projects go under, I really think there are very few exceptions of altcoins that are not gonna pump. I'm basing this idea based on what I have seen back in 2021, right? For any altcoins that have been around since before the bull cycle started, which, in my opinion, it started back in December 2020. And then you saw the altcoins basically pumping throughout the year. But of course, there has been some dumps along the way as well, right? So, I mean, looking at what happened in 2021, I really do think that most, if not all, of these altcoins are going to be pumping with Bitcoin, right? Unless these projects go under. Now for Aether here, I talked about a falling wedge pattern that's probably more validated on that's more noticeable on a lower time frame. But I'm just going to zoom out and show you guys a clearer chart here. So for Aether, if it breaks out of this falling wedge pattern, falling wedges have a higher chance of breaking to the upside. And if it does, let's just say, for example, by this point here, which is next week, it does not have to break out by next week, but I'm just saying, for example, to take a measure target here, then the measure move will still be about above 13 cents here, Aether. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on from within the pattern, because that could give me more clarity on what the price action is more likely to do. I talked about a double bottom pattern here on the weekly time frame as well. We have one bottom, second bottom. Neckline of this double bottom would be about 5.5 cents. I'm just going to say for even, or even anywhere from 5, maybe 6 cents. Okay, just 6 cents to be even. Okay, this is a higher time frame. Now, neckline to be 6 cents. Price target for this double bottom pattern here will be about 9 cents price target. Now, double bottoms have a higher chance of breaking to the upside, but also have to mind the downside risk as well for all of these patterns, because nothing in this market is 100%. So that's basically what I'm seeing for these price targets, and price targets are estimates only. There could be more, there could be less. Okay, very much depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin dumps, these altcoin setups are not going to matter very much, and it's going to run into a lot of headwind. I am long on Bitcoin. I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here, so my opinions on this market is bullish right now. But of course, like the entirety of this video, these are just my opinions and not financial advice. You gotta form your own opinions. Let's go ahead and take a look into. I got a few more things to say about ATH here. So it had a huge pump 2 weeks ago, and it's basically consolidating above or around the neckline of this double bottom pattern, okay? Because with 2 weeks pump here, it basically went above that neckline, right? And it's basically consolidating around that neckline right now, trying to keep above it. You don't want to see a move get candle closes back below the neckline, because that would basically invalidate this double bottom pattern. Let's take a look into a smaller time frame. I want to point out to you guys the 6-hour time frame and the 12-hour time frame as well, where there is a potential double bottom scenario here, right? We have one bottom here, the potential second bottom here, very close to the upper trend line of that bigger falling wedge pattern, could be very possible, especially with divergence on the RSI here. And if we actually come to 12-hour, also a very possible double bottom scenario here on the shorter time frame. And what also makes this double bottom more likely as well is that the daily 21 SMA is coming up as support. I do expect that to be, I mean, that is going to be support. Let's see if it holds, right? So this is basically what I'm seeing for ATH. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing more of Aether or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe, and I will pick a request to do for you guys on a daily basis. I'll see you on the next one.